Episode 20! That's right. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 10, not episode 16, not episode 19. It is episode 20. Pew, 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 pew. That's right, Koichi. Air horns. Pew, pew, pew. Guys, we're here. We made it to episode 20. I say that like it's an achievement, and it is an achievement that maybe some people take slightly for granted. Where it's like, yeah, we just do this every week. And kind of we are doing this every week. But I gotta say, I didn't think we were going to be doing this 20 episodes in. When we conceived of turning on the camera and streaming, we just thought, let's just hang out. Which is why, actually, this week is what it is. Because it's somewhat of a return to form of the, let's just hang out concept with the Reason community. So I'm going to say this up front before all other things I want to talk about with you guys. The concept for this, if you're just tuning in and you didn't see any of the tweets or the description down below, the concept today is that you guys are going to hang with me. I'm going to be throwing up a Zoom call in the comments, and hopefully you guys are going to get on there. I did this once before, and I had this feeling where I was like, what if it's like a kid who throws a birthday party and nobody shows up? And I have that feeling again. So you gotta come on, and don't make me feel like I've been abandoned. But we're going to get a Zoom call up, and everybody's going to be on there. And I'm going to just kind of pop around and talk to you guys about what you've been doing musically. And I have a link down in the description, and maybe Stefan can throw it in the comment section as well in the chat. I have a Dropbox link for people to send their music in, and hopefully we'll be able to coordinate that. Like, if I get someone on screen and they have a thing that they put in the Dropbox, I can open it up, we can listen to it, we can talk about it, see what you guys are doing, how you're using Reason, etc., etc., etc. So if that's kind of your, while we're getting going, if you want to be part of that call, and please do, then hit that link up, drop your music in, and then when I drop the Zoom call link into the chat, then you guys we'll all get up. It's going to be a thing. We're kind of going to improv it, but a little less improv than last time. Last time was just a total flying by the seat of my pants. Right now I'm flying by, I don't know, more of my pants. Is that flying by the rest of my pants? I don't know. I don't know what that expression means. But listen, guys, okay, while people are getting that stuff in, there's some other stuff I want to kind of chit chat about as we get going, and I'm seeing all the comments come in. So hi, I'm glad everyone's here. Drowsy Carnivore, dang, I have no cam. Well, Drowsy, you can still. I mean, it's not excluding you if you don't have a cam. We'd all like to see you, but if you have some music to share and stuff, then you can still jump on the Zoom call. We're not gonna kick you out for it. But it would be helpful for everyone else. Let's not turn this into an all cameras off situation, because it would be nice to see everybody and talk. So, Mark, Ryan wearing pants. Ryan's definitely wearing pants because, Mark, I have another camera over here over the keyboard. And this morning when I was setting up for the stream, I realized pants are not optional. Not that pants are ever really optional for these things, because you just, I'm actually not even just wearing pants. I'm wearing shoes. This is a thing. Here's a random insight into these streams. I put on shoes to do the streams because it makes me feel like I'm more like in my outside head, if that makes sense. Maybe that doesn't make sense. But I feel like if I were barefoot right now, it'd be like a little too just cash. So I put on shoes. Who knows? And then when I'm done the stream, I take off my shoes. It's a really random sort of thing. Not flannel pants, Stefan, no. But listen, guys. So here's a couple things. First of all, here's the biggest excitement in my world. Let me see if I can. I'm a little nervous to do this, but let me see if I can do this. I'm very excited for what I was up to this weekend in this studio. Somebody asked me if I'm renovating my studio, and I actually am kind of renovating my studio. They asked that last week. Renovating isn't quite the right word, and studio isn't quite the right word either, because I live behind that door. So it's my home office. But I am doing some sort of upgrades to it that I've been years in the making. And one of those was my desk, because I had a desk that was, my working desk that I'd had for like 14 or 15 years or something. And it was time for an upgrade. And not only an upgrade, but check this out. Okay, you ready? You ready to do this? Watch this. This is amazing. What's happening? Look at that. I mean, come on. Standing desk. Standing man. I am standing man. I'm very excited by this. This came as a somewhat necessity while I was doing some long hours in editing and things, and I started realizing, I really should be able to switch this up a little bit now and again. So now I can. Look at this. I'm so excited by this. But anyway, okay, let me go. Hang on. We're going to go back because watch this. Where's it going again? I get way too excited by this. But yes. I have two presets, sitting and standing. I go back and forth. Man. Ivan, you're right. The problem is the mic stand. Oh, no, it does go because the mic is mounted to the desk. So the mic actually does go with me. So yeah, anyway, I've had it for 2 days and I have done that back and forth about 100 times. And I've done the standing part less, like standing less often. I gotta actually set that into some reminders. But anyway, what else is going on? I want to talk about some other stuff. Oh, here, this is kind of, I'm burying the lead. This is actually more important than my standing desk. I don't know if you guys saw the news, but Reason Studios put out a new rack extension today called Friction. And some of you watching might have caught on to this. This actually, I'll let you in on this. For the last 20 episodes practically, or like for the last 16 of these episodes, I usually have to start my morning by deleting Friction from my instruments list so it wouldn't show up if I ever shared my screen and showed things. I didn't want to basically leak it ahead of schedule, right? So I've been uninstalling and reinstalling Friction every week. And then I made this video for Sweetwater, for GearFest. And it was, I made a few videos for them. One of them was kind of like this overview of the Reason Rack, which we've then posted on our own YouTube channel recently. And when we put it on our own YouTube channel, the eagle eyes that you guys are noticed that I left, there's this little appearance. It appears twice in the video as just a little thumbnail Friction, but it was before it came out. So all of a sudden, the forums light up with like, what's Friction? Friction, you say. And so I ended up, after all that work that I was doing to not leak it, I ended up leaking Friction ahead of schedule. And so for the last week, people have been on forums like Reason Talk. Shout out to the Reason Talk gang. They've been on Reason Talk speculating as to what the name Friction could be. And then they had a thumbnail of the device, but all they could really make out was that it was like kind of bluish and had knobs. And from that, some people were like, I think it is a physical modeling string instrument. Like, what? How did you figure that out? So, yeah, whoever was the guys that figured that out, like, kudos to you guys for being clever like that. But also, when I saw the speculation about that, I thought like, oh, I guess that means like it's a good name. Like, if you can take from the name, the word Friction, what it probably is, then it's a good name. So, anyway, let's see. Should we look at it? We could actually do this. Hang on a second. This was my thinking, was that we could actually take a couple minutes here before I throw up the Zoom call and we all hang out and kind of talk a little bit about Friction, because I got to tell you guys, I'm pretty wait. Okay, I get you. Hang on. Oh boy. Okay, we got sound. Okay. I gotta add one thing to make sound work. So I'm gonna switch back to that other cam, and then I'm gonna do some sound. Okay, bear with me, guys. I get it. Sorry, my bad. Okay, now there should be sound here. Okay, yes. Now there is sound. Well, let's hope that's the only problem, the only technical hiccup we have. We haven't even gotten to the part where I'm showing where I'm bringing up the Zoom call. So I mean, oh boy, let's see how that goes. But you guys let me know. Just let me know there's sound in the because on my meters now there is sound. So hopefully there is still sound now. Yeah, okay. Yes, I'm seeing sound. Good. Okay. Thank you guys. Thank you for letting me know. Sorry for about 30 seconds of silence there. So anyway, I don't know what part you guys heard and what you didn't, so I'm just going to repeat myself a little bit. So Friction, what I just kind of love about it is that, yes, it's a string physical modeling synth, but it also does a bunch of other things, and it can be like, it's sort of strings, but a synth. It's a floor wax, but a dessert topping. Like it can do multiple things. So I mean, in its most basic form, if I here, let me see if I'm gonna switch over for a second. I can't believe it. Is this my first day? This is my oh, guys. Should I just quit now? I think I should just quit now. Okay. I can't believe this is episode 20. You would think that by episode 20 I would have this stuff figured out. Oh, it's the worst I've ever done. Okay, let me add the mic to that camera too. I shouldn't have added all these new cameras today. Hang on a second. It's just going to be a second while I set this up, so just bear with me. Okay, we're back. We're mostly back. Now I'm going to just fix a couple other things. Man. Well, we can't always be perfect, can we? Okay. Let's see. Now. Okay, I think we got sound. Yes, we have sound. Okay. Yeah, step on end stream, right? Oh my gosh. Still nervous, Michael? Yeah. No, I've gone from nervous to just accepting that, that today wasn't going to go my way. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's now. Now I don't know what I was saying again when my sound went away. What I was saying was that there's a two-handed method to the way that I and most people probably will be playing Friction. It's this two-handed thing where you've got your notes here, and then you've got your dynamics happening controllable via a controller. So in most cases, that's the mod wheel. You could do other things. You could set it up for key pressure or breath controller or other things like that. But they are very connected in the way that you can play it. So you can, it becomes, when you get into it, it becomes just this extension of kind of the way string players work, in that you can hit a note and then you can actually swell it after the fact. I realized I think I just started playing, isn't that the national anthem? I don't think I meant to do that. But anyway, and so, and then there's all these little kind of neat things. Someone, Cap says, map that to a pedal. I'll talk about the pedal in a second because I kind of think that's cool too. But there is there's all this stuff that I enjoy about sort of the intuitive playability of it. So for example, if I go over, there's a thing called, there's glide, right? But there's a mode called auto for glide where within a range of keys that you define. So on this violin patch, it's set to 6 semitones, 6 keys. Within 6 keys, if you play a monophonic line where you're kind of holding down one note and then you start to play another note, if you do that softly, it interprets that as you wanting to glide the notes. Let me see if I can show you how that works. If I click here, okay. I'll move the pitch down a little bit. No, a little higher. There we go. So if I play a line like this, you can hear it already. But if I deliberately pull off the keys, versus if I sort of hold down from this note, or actually I'll go from here to this one. Do you hear that slide? You can actually if you do bigger intervals, you'll hear it a little more. Hear that? Like that little, just that natural kind of slide thing is, you start, I don't know, when I play it, I start sort of thinking, my hands start getting connected to like the how do I describe this? The way I play guitar, my hands are kind of thinking or executing the phrasing that my brain is thinking. My brain is thinking I want to slide, my hands know what to do. And all of a sudden, this is happening in the same way, that I'm not having to do key switches to get the slide, or set up one track in my sequencer that's the slide track and one track that's the not slide track, and all the other kind of things you can often do or get into with big string libraries. I can just control the way I play it. And the same is true the way it works for the sort of short notes versus the sort of long-held legato notes. Like you just can play it, and I don't know. It's a neat one. Now let me show you. Someone said map that to a pedal, and that's another thing I think is kind of neat. Let me go to a different patch for a second. I will go to cello solo. Let's go here. Okay. I love the cello patch, but one of the things that it has is this little thing here. I made a tutorial for Friction, but I didn't put this in the tutorial, so I'm going to talk about it here for a second. This little section here for release damp, it's release dampening. It's basically the equivalent of when a player is playing, a cello player or string player, and when they drag their bow across, they can either sort of dampen the note by sort of lifting off a little bit from the string to kind of cut the note short, or if they don't do that, they have no other way to kind of end the note from ringing, and so it has this little sort of ring after the note is released. And that is a kind of, I love, here, watch, I'll turn it off and I'll show you what I mean. Let me turn it, let's turn up a touch more. Okay, so that's with it on. Do you hear that ring? I'm going to turn the reverb down so you can hear it a little better. You hear that? Hear how it's cutting off? So that you can assign a lot of different things to the sustain pedal. So right now, this is on this cello patch. If you look down at the bottom, the sustain pedal is assigned to glide. So if we look at the glide section of Friction, if I press the sustain pedal with my foot, in fact, here, watch. Can I do this? Can you see it pressing? Not really. Okay. So if I press the sustain pedal with my foot, you can see that the glide key is activated. And for certain patches, and obviously the patch designers of this cello, they thought that would be a better way than setting it to auto mode. So if I put it on auto mode, it will use the auto range to do what I was doing on the violin. Right? But if I take auto off, I could either use, is it this key? Yeah. A sharp down on the key, control keys to turn it on. Or if I wanted to have both hands available to me while I'm playing, I can assign it to the sustain pedal. And then when I press the sustain pedal, I get the glide turning on. And I like to do that I like to reset that to the release damp. So now if you watch, you can see the release damp is toggling on and off when I use the sustain pedal. And for me, when I'm sort of writing parts and notes, I tend to like turning that on and off to kind of, it's, you know, cello players use open strings, obviously. And when they do, they don't have that same ability to sort of release their hand off of a note to stop it from fretting. And they have if they need to stop it, they'll stop it. But part of the sound of cello is also just kind of, sometimes those notes have a little bit of release to them. And so I've been playing around with kind of learning when to like let my foot up and kind of simulate some of that stuff. So anyway, that's some of the stuff that we're going to be talking a lot more about Friction. In fact, maybe I'll mention it here. Next week, I was going to have on Matthias and Ludwig. Ludwig, you guys know, because if you saw one of our early episodes, he came on. And I was going to have those guys on because they designed and scrutinized and came up with a lot of the sort of the workflow that is Friction. And so I thought I'd have them on because they know it in and out and can show you guys all sorts of neat stuff. But just to poke around with a couple more things, let me show you this. Let me go here. I'll go. Oh, here. Okay, wait. One thing I was going to show you. This is my new favorite thing to play. There's a bagpipe patch, which, okay, so on its own, it's a little bit just, vanilla. But, hang on. This is how I've been spending my evenings. When I was, this is story time. When I was a kid, I wanted to learn to play the bagpipes. Some people find it to be an unpleasant instrument, much like banjo. And I've learned that it's like with cilantro. Some people hate the taste and some people love the taste. There's like a certain type of instrument, and I would have never connected banjo and bagpipes until I realized that people tend to joke about them and hate them the same, and I tend to love them the same. So when I was a kid, I wanted to learn bagpipes. And I went to the store, music store, and I bought a cantor, which is this part, the top part. It's that part of the bagpipes. And I would sit in my room practicing, but I had like no discipline and I sucked at it. And so my family had to listen to just this part of bagpipes, which like even I admit, like without the kind of drone and that, the sustain and all that stuff, pretty terrible. So sorry to my fam on that one. But anyway, now I have bagpipes. I don't have to do anything. Watch this. If I put a scales and chords, oh wait, I'm in. Go here. Okay, if I put a scales and chords above the bagpipes, I'm going to set it to A Mixolydian and turn off chords mode. And then I'm going to turn on Hella Reverb. And we should be good to go. Let's see here. Oh, wait, I'll give you guys the key view here for a second. Okay. I mean, I could just do that forever. Braveheart Cold, I know, right? I actually get sucked. I can't even remember if it. I think it's using bagpipes. There's a Peter Gabriel song called Biko that like I keep wanting to start singing that. But anyway, yeah, I've been like playing with that stuff, and that's sort of there's some fun stuff with Friction with that, where it's like it does it's not just cellos and violins. There's a lot of other stuff in there. So I could go on, but I don't want to take up your guys' time. I want to get to your music and stuff. So let's actually get to our Zoom call, because apparently I like tempting fate even more by trying technology given today. But okay, so here's how it's going to work, guys. I'm going to give a Zoom link. Oh wait, let me just take a look at what MIDI controller is that. That's a Akai Advanced 49 controller. I'm going to send out a Zoom link, and like before I do, I did this last time. We got to have a talk, okay? I am about to open up the Propellerheads Zoom or YouTube stream to you guys, and that means I want you to keep it cool. I don't want to see things that we don't all want to see. This is not chat roulette. This is not Omegle or whatever those other ones are. So let's keep it clean. And otherwise, yeah, let's just have fun. Let's talk about music and not complain to me about VST3 support or other things that other pet feature requests, because I don't program. I can't, that's not me. Okay, so here we go. Let's get the Zoom call up. I'm going to drop the link into the chat. Hang on. Link is in the chat. You guys are going to be muted when you come on. I will be able to unmute you. And when I see you guys coming on, we'll hang. We'll start talking. Of course, I said VST3 support, and now that's what we were all talking about. Yeah, okay, so the link is in the comments. So you guys can come on. I've got a bunch of people's song files already in the in the Dropbox, so that's great. We've probably got more than we'll be able to get to today. But let's see who we got, who's coming on and who's not. Oh, let's see. Oh, I'm seeing no cameras on. Did I not let people enable cameras? Or are people, oh no, people can enable cameras. Okay, they're getting there. I think, well, maybe I should just jump right to it. Let's see, let's do this. I'm seeing familiar faces already, so. Look at this. I see David. David, since you are the first to turn your camera on, I'm going to ask to unmute? Oh, I have to ask you to unmute? No, come on. Is that true? Hang on a second. Let's see if I can do the invite more. Oh, allow participants to unmute themselves? No, I don't want to do that. You guys can't unmute yourselves. Let's see. Well, it looks like I'm hearing somebody. I wonder who I'm hearing. Okay, David, I'm going to ask you to unmute. So I guess I have to, maybe this is a new Zoom thing that I have to ask you to unmute. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, yep. How you doing?
Hey.
Good to see you.
I'm doing fine.
So for people that didn't catch this the last time we did this, David was were you one of the first? Maybe you're the second person that I brought on to the call?
I think that was a third one.
Were you third one? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
And you were, I have to say, surprised, I guess, that you were chosen, or we kind of we kind of blew your mind a little bit that we pulled you up on the. But
I was really like, why would you even choose me? Something like that.
well, now I got to say, if you had this background last time, you better believe I would have chosen you because
Right. Yeah.
I'm seeing some of the other people are doing virtual backgrounds too, so I'm enjoying that as well. But how you been? So David and I've kind of gotten to know each other a little better. We've talked through Facebook now, and kind of chatted. And maybe worth giving you a shout out. David did the music for the autotune. We put out a video with autotune when we did autotune
Right.
Reason.
Yeah.
And David did the soundtrack for that one. So applause goes to David.
Thanks.
How you been? How are things going out there? Are you were in like a rural part of the Philippines right now, or what?
Actually, it's really interesting. I just came back to the main city, Manila, just last Saturday, and rented out a room. I actually have work, so I need to go back here. So
Oh,
I
gotcha.
rented out the room. Still fixing it, and I'm gonna have a little studio space soon. So yep.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations on all of that, and
Right.
probably nice to be back in the city.
Yeah.
I have I live in the city, and whenever I visit my sister she lives in the mountains in Colorado, and I go, oh my God, it's beautiful out here in the middle of nowhere. And then after a little while, I start going, oh, I want to get back into the city. Like I sort of wish I had both in my life, but with creative things, I certainly find that we feed off of the energy of the city, and that kind of informs what we make. So that I can imagine being true for you. But you've dropped some music into the Dropbox. Should we check some of it out?
Yes, I did. Actually, it's just a disclaimer. It's my presumed third single.
Oh, cool.
If I can say it so myself. So it's kind of work in progress. So the
you've got
vocals are still a bit iffy.
you've got two in here. There's one that's called HFR Draft.
Yep.
And then one called.
And then that's a hip hop one. I recently dabbled into hip hop. So
Oh, cool.
yeah.
That's always good to branch out. What do you you do everything in Reason, right?
Yeah, I do everything in Reason.
So what do you as you move into hip hop, what are you sort of messing around with to sort of
recently a friend of mine just invited me to join a weekly, like, if you are guys familiar with beat ciphers, like someone will give a sample and then every week we'll submit something out of it, like flip the sample in any way that we can. So yep, I've joined that, and that track that I submitted was actually my first track submitted for that weekly beat cipher. So it's like a pool of hip hop producers,
Cool.
underground and mainstream. So it's fun. It's really fun.
That's great. So beat cipher, huh? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so which one should I play? Lucine?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's your new single.
Hip hop moniker.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's yeah.
All right, so we are world premiering the new single, although it's still a work in progress. Is that the idea?
Well, the HFR one.
That one's the work in
stands
progress.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll play a little bit of both. Let's check them out. Let's see. Hopefully the guys on the Zoom call are going to hear this as well. At this point, I'm even hoping that this goes out correctly. In fact, maybe I should double check. Hang on. Let me just make sure I've got this set up to go to everybody. Okay, it seems like I do. Here we go. Let's see. Here, I can ask you, Dave, because if you can hear this, the stream will hear it. So are you hearing this?
Yep, I can hear that.
Great. Very different for you.
Yeah.
Nice. So David, this is an instrumental, and is the idea then that you would get a vocalist on this?
Yeah, probably, yeah. I've been thinking a lot of that lately, but somewhere along the line, yeah,
Cool.
I will.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let's take a little listen to your other one, and then I'm going to jump over to some other folks who are patiently waiting. So I see you all. ZOH, man, are you getting your mic ready, I think, or something? So I'm going to be coming to you. All right, let's take a listen to this other one. And this is the David I know.
Yeah.
Hey, I was wondering if we could sit under the stars, play La Vie en Rose, and dance the night away. Open my eyes, there was my dream, counting how many days I wanna be with you. Maybe one more moment in this isolated landscape I've been wishing.
David, is it hard to write in a language that isn't your main? Do you find that? I would imagine, like, I speak a little Swedish, though my Swedish is far worse than your English. But
Right.
but if I were to try and write lyrics in Swedish, I would find it incredibly difficult.
Actually, no.
Oh, good.
I've been well, I should say I've trained myself how to like speak English in a way. But,
Right.
I still find it difficult though, in grammar wise.
Well, it doesn't. I ask because it doesn't sound like it's hard for you. It's just it's not. It doesn't sound like someone who's searching for the right thing to say or the right rhyme. There's I have heard some people. I used to go to school with some Norwegians, and maybe the Swedes will like that I'm throwing the Norwegians under the bus here. But there was a couple people I knew, songwriters, where like you could just hear the rhyme coming a mile away because it was like the most obvious rhyme, and so it was. Anyway,
Yeah.
this is good.
Believe me when I say I wanna be with you every single day.
Pardon for my voice.
It's
really loud.
No, it's nice. It's nice.
Thanks.
No, and I love that you upload works in progress, because I think it's important that people do hear the works in progress as much as they hear kind of the finished, polished stuff.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I think it's like it doesn't come as like a killer of some sort, like excitement killer of some sort. It's like
Yeah.
letting the people know that you're really just working on something.
Right.
And-
Right. There's this is a thing that's been taking a long time for me to learn that lesson, that people are, if you share something when it's still in progress, people are actually less judgmental. The reason you don't want to share it is because you're like, oh, what if they say something mean, But actually, if it's finished and ready to go, people are people are more likely to be like, those vocals are weak. But if you, or whatever, it's like, that bass line sucks, whatever. Like the things you don't want to hear, they'll say it when the song's done. They won't say it when it's like, I'm still working out the bass line,
Yeah, I actually had a difficult time with this song because for some reason, something doesn't work. So, for the longest time, I've been on a writer's block for
Oh.
this one. Yeah, because I gave it to a couple of friends. Actually, gave it to a mentor of mine, saying it's still a work in progress. But yeah, it gave me this song really gave me a hard time. I
Right.
just wanted it to be the realest song that I can sing. It's actually like I could say the chapter 2 of my first single, which I released also last year. So it's something along the lines with that. But yeah, hearing this right now again, I feel like I can go back to this again, like tomorrow.
Yeah,
or
do it.
something like that.
Do it. Go team, go. Awesome. Well, listen, David, it's been great talking to you again, and I'm sure we'll see each other again because we'll probably do these kind of things at some other point in the future. So, but I'm going to jump over and grab some of the other folks. So,
Sure.
nice talking to you, and we'll see you again soon.
Yep. See you again.
Okay, I'm going to the multi-view here. Let's see who. Oh, I see. Oh, Europa T-shirt, Linus. Come on, that's pretty good. In fact, I'm here. Look, we're nerd buddies. I'm rocking the Kong shirt today. Now wait, I saw everyone's moved around, so I'm not seeing some of the people I was seeing before. But let's see. Can I go? Do I have another window? Where did Gerald Blassingame go? Hang on a second. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I saw a file. You have a file that you dropped into the Dropbox, right? You want to come on? Let's see. Let me do this. I'm going to pin your video. Oh, you don't have sound, Gerald. Let's see. Is there, for some reason, I can't ask you to unmute. You want to look into why you might not have sound showing up, and then we'll take a look at your song. ZOH, do you have a song in the folder? Cool. I'm going to hit the ask to unmute, and there we go. And then I'm going to pin your video. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. So is ZOH, is that an artist name or?
It's my initials. It's kind of my unofficial artist name. I'm still struggling to come up with something, so I just use my initials.
It's hard, right? The artist name thing? It's hard.
I have no idea what to do.
It's funny because it used to be band, like, four people get together, they form a band. They've got to come up with a band name. But now, like, it's on an individual level. Like, you got to come up with a singular artist name. And I'll tell you here's the secret I've learned from every band I've ever talked to is it doesn't matter what you pick, you will hate it forever.
That's pretty true, because I'm like, yeah, it's lame. There's so many other people that have ZOH too. I'm like, I'm not original, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Right. Yeah. Then you got to get into like the real ZOH or like, some other ZOH modification. Yeah. No, I know, Greaves, he's a Reason user and part of the Reason scene. He, when he told a story about how he went to like a rap battle when he was kind of getting started, and he showed up and the lady was signing people in, and she was like, "Okay, what's your name?" And he's like, "Ben." And she's like, "No, like, what's your rapper name?" He's like, "Ben." She's like, "You can't be called Ben. You can't go to a rap battle called Ben. Like, you lose already. Like, you're done. So you got to come up with a name." And so he came up with Greaves kind of on the spot, and it was just like, okay, I guess that's what I'm going with. And and then here we are, 20 years later for him, and he's Greaves, and he's sort of accepted it, but
it's stuck.
It's stuck, right? Because So, but anyway, you're in a kind of cool little location. Is this your studio space?
It's my room, actually, my man cave. Love it.
You've got your LED lighting on point, man.
Appreciate it.
Where are you coming to us from?
From Atlanta, actually Conyers, Georgia, but yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
How's the scene down there? Is there sort of big? I mean, I know Atlanta obviously is a huge music town, but is it sort of is there a community, as it were, of people collabing and stuff like that, or is it kind of everybody holed up in their space?
I'd imagine, yeah, but I'm not a part of it. That's one of the reasons I'm, trying to get on here.
Yeah.
Just because I don't have anybody to collab with, and that's something that I know you've brought up a lot in, these streams is the collaborative nature of music is actually one of my favorite things about it. I love hearing other people's, creative juices,
right?
If you will, you know what I mean? It's just cool to see someone else's perspective. Perspective.
Hang on a second. Is that in your room, or is that?
No.
Someone else is unmuted?
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, wait a second. How did that happen? I'm going to mute. Wait. Unmute. Was that Mike? Okay. Okay, yep, cool.
Sorry.
No problem.
I'm pretty good with Zoom.
Yeah, no problem. I thought that should have been handled on my end, but I guess you broke through Zoom's defenses. But so anyway, Yeah, it's hard with the collaborate. You know, finding people is not an easy thing. You know,
Right.
and it's funny. It's like we're in some ways. I think about. I wish that I had the attitude that, you know, when you watch kids and when we were all kids on a playground, right? Like you would run up to a kid and be like, "Hi, what's your name?" You know, it's like, "My name's Ryan.
Yeah.
Let's be friends." And like you had no sort of fear about it, and you just, you know, and that's how you made friends early on, right? And yet with music, like there's something about it that like we're all a little bit vulnerable because we don't, you know, it's a little, we're nervous that maybe what we're making isn't up to the scratch of what other people are making, or we're just a little sensitive about it. And then also we're a little competitive, a little bit guarded. Like there's that kind of thing. There's like all these weird like things that didn't factor into the childhood playground are going on with music, and it makes it a little harder to kind of just do that sort of thing.
I kind of feel like that's a thing that, you know, that's the human element that got injected into music, but music itself is supposed to be kind of how the little kids are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you think about it like that and stop, you know, if you drop your guard, everyone starts somewhere, first of all. So drop your guard. Everyone has a different perspective, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Everyone's an individual. If you look at it like that, I think it's not as hard to, I guess, collab.
Yeah.
But yes, you're right.
That's the right attitude to have for sure. You know, I talked with I did an interview years ago now with Hank Shockley, who was, you know, part of the Bomb Squad and did a lot of that early Public Enemy stuff. And what he was talking to me about was when I talked to him and interviewed him, he had a studio over in New Jersey. And he said, I miss so badly the early days in those sort of in the 80s. I was working out of a studio space, and it was like, you know, some like New York building where like the entire hallway, you just walk down the hallway and it was like studio space, studio space, studio space. And so as you were walking down the hallway, you'd hear some other stuff that was going on, and you got inspired just by like what was coming through the door. But then you also had the thing of like, you could just pop into someone else's studio and be like, you know, like, oh man, like, and this is at the time when like they're doing a lot of very cutting edge sampling stuff with, you know, figuring out how far they can push, you know, the SP1200 and stuff like that. And so you'd pop into the studio and you'd see someone doing something you didn't know about. And suddenly you brought it back to the studio with you. And there was such a natural kind of, it almost was more like the playground mentality because you were just all commingling. And so he missed that a lot. And I always think about that because I always wish there was a way to, we're not going to get back to those days of everybody having a studio in the same floor of a building. Like that's just not going to happen. Yeah. But I wish there was a virtual way that you could actually recreate. Like I wish I could walk down the hallway of the Reason community. And in some ways, I guess that's part of why I like these things is that we get to kind of all just hear what we're up to, you know?
Right.
In fact, maybe we should, maybe that's an unintentional segue to checking out what you're up to.
Yes.
What did you drop into the folder here?
I dropped something called The Dream, and I dropped something called Smooth. One's complete and one's a work in progress.
Oh, cool. Okay. Let's see, it looks like is it under, where would I see it? I'm not seeing Dream or Smooth yet. What's the artist? Is there a name before it, or does it, the first word? Hang on, I'm switching to alphabetical. Oh, there I see it. I got you. Yep. Okay. So, do you have a preference for which one to check out, Smooth or The Dream first?
Go The Dream. I
guess.
Dream.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
Here it is, The Dream.
It's got a slow start.
Is that sort of bit crush thing? Is that a preset you're processing you're doing on the piano?
Yeah, it's what is it? The synchronous.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I love synchronous.
Me too. And for stuff like this is a really cool, like it's just hanging out that kind of over here, you know, it's like.
Yeah.
Nice. What are those strings? That wasn't Friction. I know that much.
No. I had to search to find me a good one. I'm gonna get that, by the way, because I'm looking for a nice string instrument. I think that's just the NNXT from the orchestra.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Nice. I like the long verb on that clap.
Oh yeah.
That's great. That's really cool. So you've got quite a lot of orchestration going on there. Are you trained sort of in the musical theory side of things? It sure sounds like it.
No, actually.
You're winging it really well.
basically, that's how it's always been, you know.
Right.
My mom got me a little keyboard and I was on it every single day because I love music so much. It's an expression. Absolutely. When they call it that, is definitely that. And I love real instruments and stuff like that. So I kind of lean towards realer sounding stuff, but of course I do, you know, hip hop and all that stuff.
Right.
And yeah.
Well,
But
it's,
no,
you know, I mean, there is, it's not by accident that those instruments, I mean, you know, here we are on the release day for Friction, but it's not by accident that instruments that were sort of basically finished being designed in the 1600s are still with us today. I mean, they sound fantastic. And as much as we've moved into the electronic and processed and saturated drums and all those things like that, putting that stuff on there still just brings, there's kind of no replacement for that sound if you want that sound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That's great. Well, it sounds really good. I like it quite a bit. So
Thank you.
People out there, if you know, maybe I should ask if people do want to reach out and collab with you or just connect with you in some way. Is there a social handle or something for people to find you? Dun, dun, dun. Quick, register a new account.
Maybe, yeah. I guess my Instagram. You can tell I've never collabed with anybody because I don't have.
Well, if you want to let people know, you can let them know your Instagram or something. I mean, however people want to find you. I'm sure there might be some people that are liking what they hear. Should we check out Smooth?
Yeah.
All right. So is this one the work in progress, or was that last one the work in progress?
That one's the work, and this one's Smooth is the work.
Okay, cool.
In progress.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I like. It's nice that you and David both did that, so people can kind of hear, different phases along your process of kind of where you're at.
Yeah.
Now I recognize Synchronous is in there.
It's a go-to.
Go-to, right?
Yes. Another slow start.
Ooh. That was cool. Is that like a clarinet and like a Moog synth or something?
That is, I believe, 70s soloist. I'm kind of a preset guy.
Oh man, you and me both. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's it called? 70s soloist?
70s soloist put through, I think one of the extensions, it's called Fatternator or something like that.
Oh, a Faturator.
Yeah.
I know that one. Anyway, but so what instrument is that 70s thing on?
70s soloist. So I go to Reason Sounds.
Oh, maybe it's it might be a combinator or something. So it might be a bunch of things.
Yeah, I believe so.
Gotcha. It's cool because when it starts out, it sounds like an analog synth, and then the more you play it, I felt like it was almost morphing into like a clarinet. Here, I'll play it again. Like that sounds like an analog synth.
Yeah, and then I switch it.
Oh, there you do switch it.
Yeah. That's the same 70s soloist though. I just switched the way it sounded.
Oh wow, okay. It makes for a really cool effect because it has and knowing you like the real things, I mean it actually does sort of do this kind of neat hybrid of like it starts out and you just sort of go like, oh yeah, it's that it's that analog sound. And then you go, oh no, it's got a little bit of a, I don't know, a thing to it. Like I can almost hear, even though it's not on the preset, I can almost hear like kind of the breath attack of a clarinet.
Right.
I'm gonna say we got some echo. Who's echoing now? Does someone? We might have someone else's Let's see. Is everybody muted? So, I think everybody is muted. Okay, sorry. Okay, just making sure we're all good there. So, well, awesome, man. It's been great to talk to you. I'm gonna jump over to some other folks here, but it sounds like you got some great stuff going on, and I got to say, you and me, we're bonded on two loves. One, synchronous. Two, presets. I'm such a believer in, there are people, and, bless them for being this good. But there are people that roll their own sounds all the time. And I am not always one of them. Sometimes I am, but not always. A lot of times I tend to find, I write from the preset, I'll go through, I'll hit a preset and it will make me play something entirely different. And so I sort of, I welcome that as my muse a lot of times,
It helps you get the idea started, because if I'm spending too much time spinning knobs and trying to find the sound, my idea is lost. You know what I mean? I can just plug in a preset, get my idea down, and then I'll change it. That's kind of how
I know there's a guy I know, and he's an absolute wizard at sound design, but what he says is that he decides when he sits down at an evening to make music or to mess with Reason, he will sit down and decide, am I sound designing tonight or am I musicking tonight? Because if I'm musicking, I'm not going to spend my time tweaking and designing a sound from scratch. I'm just going to kind of find things and start going with it. But if I am going to do that, then I'm not expecting to end the night with music either. Like that's it's like two different sides of the brain almost, So, well, cool. It's been great to talk to you, Zach, and
Same.
Stay I don't know, warm down there. I don't know what's going on down in Atlanta right now. We're on fire here in California, so I don't know what else is going on in the world.
It's a different thing every single day over here in Georgia. Literally. It doesn't know what it wants to be.
But you're not getting the hurricanes, right? You guys dodged that? No. Okay, good. That's good. Awesome, man. Well, good talking to you. And I'm going to jump over to the gallery view again. But if you could, once I jump off you, if you could go back and mute your mic, that would be awesome.
Yep.
And let's see. I'm going to take a look here. Oh, hang on a second. Hang on. There is, I don't know what's going on here, but Drabbit, you might win the costume prize, Drabbit. So I'm going to click the ask to unmute, and then I think we got to bring you up here. What is going on? This is, I feel like Deadmau5's cousin sort of crashed the party here.
I just really love Slipknot.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's right. It's like sort of Deadmau5 meets Slipknot, or yeah, exactly. How's it going?
It's going great, except I'm also here in California, and we are also on fire.
Whereabouts? How far south are you in California? Are you in the northern?
Palm Springs.
Oh, Palm Springs. Are you on fire in Palm Springs too?
Well, near here. We're getting the smoke.
Are you? Jesus. It's like, in fact, here, I'll just for you and me both here, I'm going to tilt my camera and show everybody kind of what's going on. In fact, here on the stream, I'm going to go full screen so people can see this. This is what I did last week. Ready? If I do this, can you see my windows there? I had to tape up my windows with plastic sheeting because the fire smoke got so bad that it was like on Thursday or something, my throat was just burning, and I was like, you know what I was doing is I'm gonna get my good worker bee award from the Reason Studio guys, but I was trying to finish the friction videos that were going to be coming out today and did come out today, and I was like, I can't evacuate because if I evacuate, I'm going to lose a day or two to packing up my gear and then going to a Motel 6 in Fresno and setting up my gear again and then keeping editing. So I was like, I'm just going to seal up my windows and hope for the best. And it worked out pretty well. So I'm still here. I'm survived. Good to hear that you're surviving in Palm Springs as well.
Summertime in California is kind of like wintertime everywhere else. We're all battened down inside. We don't want to go out. We're hiding.
Especially in Palm, I gotta say, Palm Springs, you're in the hot zone too.
It's about 105 today.
Ugh.
It's nice, actually.
Is it? See, that's the stuff. That's the stuff I could not do. I definitely. I'm up in San Francisco, and so it's like once it goes over sort of 70 degrees, I start going like, oh, it's so warm. Let's see. But yeah, let's see. Wait. Now I'm looking. I got a message from Stefan. I'm not quite sure what he's on about there. But anyway, okay. So what is going on where you are, and what did you drop some music in the folder, by the way?
I did. I dropped a song that I made on my stream.
Oh,
live,
cool,
so-
cool. And so yeah, maybe you should tell people about your stream. It's a Twitch thing, right?
Yep. So I'm on Twitch every Monday at 10 a.m. and every Thursday at 5 p.m. and that's Pacific time because I'm out here in California.
Gotcha.
And I just kind of hang out and make a song.
And so, some people might be wondering why the mask.
What mask? This is my face.
There you go. That's the answer. You take that, people questioning. But so okay, so you're on every Monday. What is it twitch.tv/Drabbit? Is that the
/ I am Drabbit.
I am Drabbit. Okay.
I am Drabbit everywhere if you need to find me.
Gotcha. And are you mostly Reason or all Reason or some Reason?
100% Reason. I make house music. I make music for laying by the pool.
Nice. Okay.
Why?
Sort of
I live in Palm
bottle
Springs.
service music, that kind of house laying by the pool.
Yep.
Nice. That is great. Let's pull up maybe one of your tunes and then we can talk about it a little bit. Are you in your stream? Are you doing things? Are you producing live on the stream? Is that kind of the flavor of the?
Yep. I
the
usually
streams?
start either with I'll write. I use Reason Compact on my phone.
Oh, cool.
So I'll write like a loop, and I'll have like a bass line and a synth and a little bit of a drum line to start with, or I'll just start with a blank document and then we'll go from there. And when I'm done, I have, the shell of a song. I'll go back and mix and tweak and add, little bits and really polish it. But I've got, the most of it's there when I'm done.
Right. Cool. I gotta, having done some of that on stream live production stuff, my hat goes off to you guys who do that on the regular because it's a skill to be able to sort of think creatively when everybody's watching.
I love it. And it stops me from getting like halfway through a song and going, I hate all of this and deleting it.
Oh, cool.
I don't wanna,
Right.
you don't want to throw a tantrum on the stream. Like, oh, this is terrible. I'm
Right.
out of here.
It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. One of the best guitar lines I think I've ever written in a tune was something I was working with Justin Williams, who's actually another member of the Reason community, and we were working on a project together. And I put some guitar on this chorus for the song that we were doing, and then I had to go out for the evening. And so I sent him a message and I said, I put this guitar on. When I get home, I'm going to pull it off. I hate it. But maybe you'll hear kind of what I'm wishing I could do. And I went out, and when I came home, I had a message from him that said, if you remove that, I will kill you. And then when I listened to it sort of with his view and with a little distance, I was like, oh, I actually really like that, but like I was so ready. If I hadn't been working with him, I would have I'm going out for the evening. I would have deleted it and just forgotten about it. But so I understand what you mean. That sort of like other people, the audience, even for me, was an audience of one, but for you, it's your Twitch audience kind of keeps you from being driven by your inner critic more than you are by your better instincts. So.
And I do that almost every song. I hate it by the time the stream's over, and then I listen back on Monday, and I'm like, "Oh, this is great."
Oh man, if I wish our brains were more cooperative in these sort of things. Okay, well, let's take a listen to I Am Drabbit. So this is Heatwave Final. Is that the name? Heatwave, I guess.
Heatwave. Yep.
Let's take a listen.
It's a house track, so there's a good minute of sparse stuff. At the beginning.
Let me jump ahead then. I'm going to say this real quick. This is what I love about house music. Maybe my favorite thing about house music is that you can take the most simple snippet of a vocal. I mean, in this case, it's one syllable, one vowel. And if it's done right, you can just want it to continue forever. And the more you hear it, the more you like it. And I just love that psychological quality, you know?
It's funny you say that because that sample, this song has a radio edit that's released with it with a longer vocal on it.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the last syllable of the chorus.
Oh, cool. I paused right before it went away. There it is. Are these, is this Oomph Club drums?
This is Kong, and it's the synth kit. I made a synth kit in Kong because I love those little synth drums.
Oh, so these are the little synth modules in Kong. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell a story that I probably shouldn't, but I'm gonna tell it anyway. When Kong was I joined the company when Kong was about to come out, and we were just a couple weeks, I think, before the announcement for Kong, and there was a debate inside the company because they'd sort of, I mean, more or less they would run out of time, I guess, for lack of a better way to describe it. You know, whenever you're releasing something, you're pushing up against this deadline and you got to start figuring out what are we going to finish in time? What do we have to ditch? What do we have to modify? That's the natural development process. And the decision had come down that they didn't have time to finish the kick module, the synth kick module. And one of the guys in the company just went to the mat. He was like, you know, he wasn't even part of the development team. He was just a house guy. And he was like, I can't say this strongly enough. You have to finish the synth kick module. You cannot release Kong without letting people design their own synth kicks in house music. So it's so cool to hear that you making use of it. Is that synchronous doing the pumping on the?
It is pump.
A pump, yeah, pump's good too, yeah. Nice. I'm gonna jump ahead for a second. Well, this stuff sounds great. I mean, I gotta hand it to you in terms of like, you know, one of the key things for an artist is knowing how to describe themselves. And it's actually a pet peeve of mine. If you ask someone like, oh, you do music, what kind of music do you do? And they go, oh, I make kind of like folk, jazz, world music that's sort of like hip hop, but also punk with like a death metal edge to it. Like they describe it with everything and you have no clue what they do. So kudos to you for being able to describe it's music to listen to by the pool. And my God, that really is like, I'm ready to go to the pool. And knowing you're down
drinking mimosas and coming down, you know.
That's right. That's right. It's totally perfect for that. Yeah, absolutely. So that's awesome. You well done on having that as your vision for your music and then executing it in a way that totally gets received by the listener in that way too.
Thanks. I just wish the pools were open.
Yeah, right. I know, right? Right. It's music to lay at home and look at a pool videos on YouTube or something
by myself.
Yeah, that's right. You can still have the mimosa though. The mimosa is not on lockdown.
Absolutely.
Well, cool, man. Great talking to you, and I hope people will do jump on your stream and kind of move over if they haven't checked you out yet. Twitch.tv/IamDrabbit every Monday. What time is it on Monday?
Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific and Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific.
Okay, 10 a.m. Pacific. That's the same. So around the world, it's the same time, but on Monday that we do our stream, so that you don't have to convert. Whatever time you're watching now, that's the same time to tune in on Monday. And then Thursday, you said at 5 p.m.?
Yep. Late.
Gotcha. Cool. That's a good way to do it. 2 different times for people around the world. So cool, man. Well, great talking to you. I'm going to jump over and take a look at some other people.
Thanks a bunch.
But been nice catching up here. All right, gang. Hey, Gallo Benassi. Benny Benassi? It's Benny Benassi. Oh my God. Should we hear? Now I've talked to you. I'm going to unmute you and get you on the screen here. How you doing, man?
Hi. Are you listening?
What's that?
Sorry, my English is not that great.
That's okay.
Argentina.
Argentina.
Yeah.
Am I correct in saying buenos dias? Right?
Yeah. Buenos dias.
That is all of the Spanish that I know. Nice to see you, man. How are you doing? And how has your music making been? Have you been watching these streams?
Well, I'm doing great. Actually, I actually shouldn't be here.
Oh,
Because
see ya.
tonight I have an exam tonight,
Oh man.
and I should be studying. But
Oh man.
yeah.
Well,
I saw the opportunity of sending the file and said, I have to be here.
yeah. Well. Then I'm glad that I saw you waving to me. Then, let's check out some of your music. I don't want to keep you too long. I don't want to be the reason that you fail your exam. So we'll make it quick with you here. But what was the name of the song you uploaded?
And the file it's in Spanish.
Oh, cool.
It's called Último Demo.
Ultimo. That it sounds like we have a TV channel here called Telemundo, and
Yeah.
it sounds like already. I'm hearing the narrator voice. Wait, let me find it again. What was it called? Wait, where is it actually?
Último.
But wait, is it under? Does it have your name first?
No, it has only the word demo and the word último, which has a.
I don't see it here
I mean,
yet.
I don't know how to spell it, in English.
Yeah, no, that's okay. But I'm just.
I will write it in the chat of the Zoom meeting.
I'm gonna do a search in this folder for Ultimo to see if I can. There it is. Got it. Perfect.
Great.
I was getting thrown off by the accent on the U.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, well let's take a listen. You said is this the name in Spanish or is there Spanish language on this as well?
Yeah, the song is in Spanish.
Cool.
It's like a hip hop song from a friend who raps,
Great.
And I did all the instrumental. I play bass.
Cool.
And I'm starting to produce, and we produce this on the distance,
Love
He
it.
was in his house, me and mine. So
Is he in Argentina as well?
Yeah.
Cool.
He lives kind of far away from where I am.
Gotcha. So whereabouts are you in? Do you say you're in Buenos Aires?
Yes.
Gotcha. I've been a few times. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. Okay, cool. Let's also. I'm looking in your background and I'm seeing that you are a Beatles fan, so we're already friends.
Absolutely. Man. Since I was a kid.
Cool. Okay, let's take a listen to Ultimo Demo.
Yeah. Muchos han hablado de lo que he logrado. Oh. Cuántas veces me morí, cuántas veces reviví. Yeah, yeah. Muchas veces me miraron a la cara, la fría, policía, mucha gente rara. Pensaron y juzgaron con su ropa cara. Retaron, reprimieron por una mirada. Y yo jugando como un nene en el recreo. No aporto pensamientos a su tonto juego. Disfruto del progreso sin montarme el ego. Me encuentro en la sonrisa de los que más quiero. Al fin y al cabo de eso se trata la vida. Correr, viajar, comer, gritar, tragar saliva. Rapear, saltar, transpirar, y mantener, conocer mientras mi pulmón respira. Muchas cosas locas pasan por mi corazón y por mi mente. Pero nada malo pasa si estoy en casa. Soy el mismo loco de siempre. Muchos han hablado de lo que he logrado, pero muy pocos vieron por lo que he pasado. Yo mientras tanto me pego a mis hermanos, cantando porque puedo. Oh,
Nice.
¿Cuántas veces me morí? ¿Cuántas veces reviví? ¿Cuántas veces me mataron? Oh, y sin embargo
This is great. This is really smooth. Like,
Yeah, it's kind of the intention.
yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. I'm gonna pause it for a second. We'll talk about it. Yeah, really, really smooth. And I have to say, you said that you're just learning to produce, but it sounds to me like you've learned because that sounds really nice.
Yeah, I have to master it, you know.
Sure.
That's the only thing that's left to do, but the rest is all.
But and here's the thing for anyone else listening with mastering. I'm such a strong, I believe very strongly that mastering should only be about making it a little louder and more leveled for other formats. But, you know, sometimes, I'm not saying this is what you meant, but sometimes when people say, I still have to master it, they're actually sort of going like, they're not happy yet with the mix. And so they're like, but then I'll master it and then it'll be good. But that is not the case. So for anyone listening that is thinking of mastering as the stage at which their song finally becomes up to the standard they wish it were, that is not true. There's an artist, Kill the Noise, who I interviewed a number of years ago, and he said something that just always stuck with me, which was, he said, I've never sent a track off to mastering that didn't sound absolutely perfect before I sent it, and then when I get it back, it just sounds the same perfect, but now ready for public distribution. So important for people to know. That sounds really good, and that guy's vocal is great too. I love the thing you did with the let me see if I can needle drop back to where it was. It was like you, I don't know if you were following him or he followed you, but so here. Really nice. How did that?
Well,
how did that?
He
What's
has
it?
the you know, he always tends to sing on the same melody because he's a rapper,
Right.
And you know, it's kind of usual for them to do that. So when I was composing it and seeing the harmony, I wanted to make him sing, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a D and a B flat that he had to sing, and the first time that he sent me the vocals, he didn't do it because he didn't realize it. So I kind of insisted him.
So you
do
put
it.
that musical thing in and you said, "Can you follow me?"
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's great. It's really nice because you're right, because it's going along and it sort of has that is sort of that hip hop. Well, in fact, can I ask, there is a style, and I'm just not familiar maybe with it, but is there a name for sort of this, it's like a Latin or South American style of rap, but it's also got, I don't know, it's a more, I don't know how to describe it. It's different than American hip hop. You know, it's similar to like Despacito, for example, where like there's a hybrid sung but rapped, and it's got this kind of smoother underpinning on the instrumental the way that you've got it.
Yeah, it's kind of different in each country.
Okay.
Here in Argentina, that's Latin sound. It's not that common. Maybe here, I don't know, if you listen to these new rappers or trappers that are from here, they use more like, you know, tango samples or things that are more attached to the Argentinian culture more than the Latin culture.
Gotcha.
It's kind of specific from the country. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I get what you.
Yeah, I like it. I really like it. I know the first time I ever heard a rapper in Japanese, and it was just so cool to hear. Like it's sort of like you're operating with the same kind of initial ingredients, but it just, the different cultures and different styles kind of infuse it differently. And so sort of Japanese rap, like their whole cadence is different because their language is different, and the rhyme scheme is different. And so it's just such a neat thing to kind of hear the way that culture impacts the same sort of starting point, you know? So very cool. Well, it sounds great. And I would say you could take the word demo off that and call it Ultimo Final or something. But that sounds fantastic. And thanks for jumping in here with us. And now get back to your schoolwork, young man. What's your exam on tomorrow?
It's I don't know how to say it in English. It's collective negotiation.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Okay. Cool. Well, if you don't do well, if you get a bad grade, maybe you can negotiate, yourself up a little bit.
With the teachers.
Yeah.
I
Cool.
was making music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cool. Well, pass on, if you could, all our collective compliments to your vocalist as well. He did a fantastic job with it. And do you have a Twitter, an Instagram or something where if people want to hear more from you, they can?
Yeah, I will pass on the chat the Instagram of my friend who's the rapper, and he also got an album that was dropped like a week ago. So if anyone wants to hear it, it's kind of a lo-fi vibe,
Cool.
lo-fi jazz vibe.
Cool.
So if anyone wants to see it,
Beautiful. Yeah, drop it. Make sure you drop it in the YouTube chat, not in the Zoom chat, because
okay.
so everybody will get it. But awesome. Well, thanks so much. And I'm going to jump over now to other people. Make sure to mute your mic here. I'm going to go back to the gallery view.
Sure.
Who we got? Oh, I see hands going up. Mehdi, okay. You up? You want to go? Let's do this. All right. I'm going to unmute you. Oh, hey, Gerald, I see you waving. You got a mic now. Okay. I'm going to come to you next. Okay.
Hey, what up, everybody? Reason people.
Nice.
How you doing, Ryan? Everything's okay?
Everything is good with me.
Perfect.
I like your energy. How are you?
Yeah, that's it. I'm doing great. I'm from Morocco.
Oh, cool.
It's been a lot of time, that I've tried to be in here, to
Yeah.
be with you guys. Been using Reason, for so many years.
Oh, cool.
Well,
That's
tell me-
excellent.
tell me. Yeah.
I was just about 2 years ago. It's not Morocco, but it's near Morocco. I was all around Tunisia. And
Okay, yeah. You were not so far.
I was not so, no, in fact, I
Yeah,
came
that's it.
over, I came all the way over to, let me think here, because you guys share a border, right? The western border?
No, we share borders with Algeria.
Algeria, that's what, so I
That's
was
it.
I was further than I thought then, because I
That's
was
it.
right on the border with Algeria, but
Yeah, that's it.
I've
That's
never
cool.
been I'd love to go to Morocco. I had a friend in
You're
college.
welcome.
Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. I will get there for sure. I had a friend when I was in college. I had a friend who would do we would have a week break from school, and he was like, "Let's go to Morocco. Let's go to the Highlands of Scotland." I was in the UK. One summer, as the semester was ending, he said, "I'm going to go hiking in Nepal. Well, you want to come to Nepal?" And every time I was like, "No, I'll do it later." Because I was a student and I was kind of broke, so I did. But now I look back and I'm like, "Oh my, what was I thinking? Like, I totally should have just been like, yeah, let's go."
Well, just to tell you, it's not very expensive, to do tourism over here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cultural stuff, that you can enjoy. There's a lot of music, you can listen to.
Yeah.
A lot of influential music, from every part of the world, because, we've been colonized, so many years. So the culture have been changed,
Right.
Every time we have inspiration from Spanish, Arabic culture. We have, the Amazigh, which is, the native people from here.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff to discover.
Right. So now, can I ask, the language, is it Arabic that you guys speak, or?
It's Arabic, but it's a dialectal form of Arabic, which
Okay.
is Moroccan. Okay.
Right.
And we speak a little bit, with a lot of connotation from other languages. We use Spanish words sometimes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And French words. So yeah, we did, change, those words into Arabic, Moroccan dialectal form of talking,
There was a
So,
when I was in Tunisia, I was there because I was filming with a rapper who was Tunisian,
Okay.
and she rapped in Arabic, or probably it was probably similar. She rapped probably in some
Yeah.
modified version of.
Dialectal version of Tunisian.
Yes,
talking.
yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
And it was so cool because I'd never heard sort of that. It was sort of like what I was just talking, before about, where it's like the way that she approached a line is just entirely different. And then you've got sort of these consonants that we don't even have in English. Some of that, I don't know what you call them. I think they're called glottal sounds, where it's like the kind of the.
Yeah.
Even Swedish has some of this, more like that kind
Yeah.
of they come from a different part of the throat.
The K, the H, the H. We don't pronounce the H as similar as Latin language.
Right. Okay.
We say ha,
Right.
It's like and we have like another word which is sheen and ha and ha. Well, it's different kind of words in pronunciation because it's Arabic.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, difficult to learn, but well, once you're there, you can listen, to the words, in a different way.
Right.
Well, that's it.
Gotcha.
And even when I'm mixing, I'm sorry, about that. Even when I'm mixing, for example, and I put a this or, for example, in such words or something, it's a lot of words sometimes, because it's not the same way we use, frequencies in certain words as American, Spanish, or Latin words. So.
I didn't even think of that you could, because, the classic thing in English is if you put too much de-esser on, you kind of give yourself a lisp, and suddenly, it sounds like Barcelona or something, like you get, you get too much, you take away too much of that S. But I hadn't thought of for those sort of consonants, you can take away more than just S's in a not great way. So you got to be careful.
Yeah, when I'm mixing, I always struggle sometimes trying to get, the perfect word sound good. Because, sometimes, I have like frequencies to drop and sometimes not, because the way the de-esser or the compressor works, it's sometimes, some frequencies, and I need to do like different EQing or different way of trying to level up, those words who have been eaten. So, yeah.
That is such an interesting topic that I had never thought about. And I hope that someone, and maybe that someone becomes you, but I hope that someone makes I almost wanted there to be a tutorial video out there for people to understand, like.
Well, I was trying to do because, I have another stuff, to talk about, which is a microtonal kind of note sometimes, if it's not recorded like in live audio, it's a little bit complicated to get it to work on software sometimes.
Yes, this is
not always very, very easy to do.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I will say it because it's true that software that is designed by European 12-tone people is designed for European 12-tone people. And it really is a major blind spot, I think, that everybody has that we aren't recognizing.
Crossing fingers that Reason can implement one of those days something, to be microtonal.
I will say, there is a microtonal rack extension, not to pass the responsibility
Ocean
off.
K?
I think it is. Yeah, is it the one that's got like little
I have it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's only in mono, and sometimes it's not working.
It's not perfect. Right.
There's no problem. What I do is use an NXT.
Yeah.
Use like already phrases recorded like from one note from instruments.
Yeah.
And then do my own patches.
If I don't know, I'm going to brainstorm with you now for a second, but I don't know if this is technically possible. But if scales and chords as a player supported microtonalities, would that would probably, that type of workflow would work for you, right?
Yeah.
Because
perfectly.
Because am I correct that you're still playing stuff in on a 12-tone keyboard? You just want the tuning to match kind of the nearest.
Yeah, a little bit. That's it. It's sometimes just drop 50 semitones from 2 or 3 notes.
Yeah. And
you have a different type of sounding or type of scale which is related to Arabic music. So I have asked, sometime, I think when I was watching Instagram story that Ludwig was doing, back then, I think, or someone else, I don't remember who
it might have been. That sounds like a Ludwig thing.
Yeah, and I asked him, for polystep to be microtonal, and he was like, "Okay, that's an interesting idea."
So, what is it? You said polysteps? Is that different from microtonal, or?
Well, he was asking, people, what can be, very interesting to have like on polystep. And
on polystep sequencer. Okay, right.
Polystep sequencer to have like microtonal possibilities.
Right.
And he was like, "Okay, that's interesting."
And then nothing.
No. Look. I can understand, how things are going right now, and I'm hoping, for the best. And
Well, there
I
might-
know that maybe
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that's going to be changing, very soon. I love Reason. I'm one of the Reason lovers, since like too many years. And yeah, well, even if this kind of things, doesn't appear, in that period of time, I'm always trying to figure out how to do it myself and be creative, try
Right.
to reach, always, something new, because I love the workflow. I love the sounds. I love how things, are schematical and,
Right.
and everything. So that's it.
Well, let's so we've talked about microtonality.
Yeah.
If we go to your track, do we get to hear some microtonality in there?
Yeah, Tamazirt, yeah, the one,
Cool.
I sent you can listen to that,
Let me
It's
okay, wait,
recorded.
let me take a look here for a second.
Okay.
What is the name of the track?
It's Tamazirt.
Tamazirt. Hang on.
T-A-M-A-Z-I-R-T.
T-A, hang on. T-A-N-A? I'll do a search.
A-M.
Oh, M. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
A.
That'll just help me. Yeah, there it is. Yep. Okay, cool.
That's it.
Let's take a listen here. Oh, wait. DJ Afro. I know your name.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh. I've been seeing you've been in a lot of these live stream chats, right?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Always.
Nice to meet you. Okay, cool.
Nice to meet you, Ryan.
Let's take a listen here. Ooh. I got to tell you, Zach in the Zoom call, man, he is bopping along to this. I think we got a collab going on here. You guys got to hook up.
Yeah, that's it.
So I got
Yeah.
What is that opening instrument that sounds awesome? What is that?
It's called rebab. It's one string. It's a one-string instrument.
Okay.
Okay. So it's a bowed instrument. It has just one string, and they play it like that. You got to search for that.
Yeah.
It's very, very Moroccan or Berber.
Yeah. Right. And is that you recorded?
Yeah.
You recorded that live or?
Yeah, that's it. We recorded that live, and I tried, to put it there, with a lot of stuff,
I'm gonna hear a little more of that.
mixed with guitars. Go ahead.
Take a listen. That's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
It sounds like almost like a flute. It's kind of got a breath quality to it.
Well, yeah, it's maybe from the mixing. That's why.
Yeah. It is like, not only is it an awesome sounding instrument, but it's like, I don't know if this is the way you're producing it or your player's playing it, but it's a riff machine, man. That thing is just like,
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
that thing is just chop out hook after hook after hook.
It's the way, it's played, because, it's played very fast sometimes.
Yeah.
And it produced like too many tonalities, because there's no frets, there's nothing, where to be following, a certain structure. So
Yeah.
when they play it, they play like with once, just approximately, have this kind of right note in between playing it.
Yeah.
And that's why what's giving that magic sounding.
It is magic. It really is. It sounds really cool. What is it? What's it called again? What's the instrument called?
Rebab.
And yeah, and blending with the guitars is such a nice give and take,
transforming, the song from Arabic to a little bit American hip hop.
Yeah.
Kind of, and the bounce, together. And
I gotta tell you, I think you may have just kicked off an importation trend of rebab showing up on on some U.S. tracks. That's
it. Yeah.
That is nice.
So I think that it has been used maybe by someone back then in the 90s and kind of sort of someone's hip hop album. I don't remember the name of the artist right now, but it has been used and it was a little bit mystical, there. And it was like, whoa, what's that sound? So yeah.
Yeah, it's got, it's like when I heard it, what happens, and I didn't sort of realize this until I just experienced it, is that my brain takes in the sound and then it tries to find the closest match of what I know. And so to me, it sounds like sort of like almost a Jethro Tull flute. Like it's sort of that overblown, like the way that you hear the air on the flute. But that's because that's the closest frame of reference I can link it to, Whereas if you hear it, you go like, that's a rebab. What are you talking about? It sounds nothing like a flute.
It's a chord, as I told you, because it's made, from traditional stuff, used in here. So
that is so cool. That is really cool.
That's it.
Well, now I'm gonna jump over to one more person, and then I don't want to keep everyone for too long here. But so good seeing you. I didn't realize when I saw your name, I didn't realize you were DJ Afro. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So thanks again, everybody. In here, if everybody want to collab or have like any kind of stuff, DJ Afro on Instagram or in Facebook, you're gonna find me. I'm here to help everybody, with anything, related to hip hop, trap, or anything else.
So great. Yeah. I hope people are sort of, kind of making some of those connections. I see there's chat going off on Zoom here, and probably there's chat going on YouTube as well. But yeah, I hope that part of what I love about this process, and we've done now, this is our second episode that we do where kind of we all just hang out together. And what I love about it for me selfishly is I get to meet you guys and talk to you guys, and that's fun. But I think what I love more than that is the when you guys kind of realize that you're out there, because like you kind of live in these little satellites, and then all of a sudden, like if this can be a central meeting space where people get together and suddenly realize, oh, I like his stuff, and oh, he said he was open to collaboration, well, then I'm going to message him and kind of get together,
One thing, back then, I think if people, were here, since reason 3, reason 4, the forum was a big space, to all reason users, to collaborate, and transfer patches and all that stuff. And that's what's the magic, about Reason. What I love Reason for is the possibility, to being using, the same stuff always with different collaborators all around the world.
Right. Yeah, you send a Reason file. If it's stock devices, everyone's got the same stuff. And right.
That's it.
Absolutely.
So that's it. Perfect.
Well, cool.
So thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your. It must be coming up to evening time for you over in Morocco.
It's 7:39.
There you go. It's almost. You guys have dinner really late, so it's like almost in like another 4 hours. It'll be dinner time.
Well, too.
Cool.
So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
And see ya. Goodbye.
We'll talk to you soon. All right, I'm jumping back on here. I had promised Gerald, if there he is, I see him. I had promised him. We tried to go to you earlier. I'm going to click ask to unmute and bring you up here. I think you might be closing us out here because we're running along.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How's it going?
I'm okay. I'm just waking up and everything. Starting the day.
Where are you? So you must be. Are you in California as well, or?
No, I am in Chicago.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to virtual California over here.
You guys have, I've always wanted to visit, and I've heard a lot of what's been going on with the fires. I feel for you guys out there, like seeing all the videos and stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's the, without crying into my beer too much here. The hard part, I think, has been that we lost a good number of the old growth redwood trees, which 100 years ago, we were chopping them all down like crazy, and then in the last sort of 15 to 20 years, we kind of realized, hey, we should stop doing that. How many do we have left? And it turned out we had logged 97% of all the old 1,500-year-old, 300 and 400 foot tall redwood trees. And so we were like, okay, we got 3% of them left. Let's preserve them and treasure them. And then when things like this happen, it's like, it's such a sad loss now that we've, kind of wasted the first 97%. If we lose the remaining 3, it'll be tragic. But that's how it is. But good to see you. I'm glad you got your mic working here. And
I know I was trying to figure it out. I was at first I was connecting my speakers to my TV through a Have, and I also had through my laptop. So I was trying to balance between the two and hear you guys on YouTube. So,
well, listen, let me tell you, if anyone understands having audio problems today, it's me, because I that's how I started the day. So it happens. It happens to the best of us. But so can you tell us a little bit, what kind of music are you doing? And are you an artist or producer, or?
I'm a singer-songwriter, working on my way in producing. Cool. Music is urban pop meets funk and rock and roll. Like, I grew up, listening to music as a kid. I'm originally from Flint, Michigan, so
cool.
My father is a musician, and I grew up listening with music around him. He's played, you name it, clarinet, saxophone, piano, drums. He's old school. I'm new school. So
that's perfect. Sounds like a buddy cop movie.
Yeah,
that's great though. Yeah. But that's a great influence to have as well too, to sort of take in some of that with the new production styles and new sort of genres, but with that influence. And certainly Flint, Michigan. Now I know Flint's a little bit north of the Detroit, but you've definitely you've got that. I mean, there is a sort of history, a cultural history that just must impact everyone around there with the sort of
the grit and just like I'm inspired by what's going on, even especially inspired by what's going on in Chicago right now. But it's always nice to come on home and get remember where I'm from and get that perspective. So my music as well.
I've noticed that I grew up in Philadelphia, and it is a thing when I go back to Philadelphia. It's like there is I don't know how to describe it almost. It's like there's a certain mental, like my brain recalibrates from like California brain to Philly brain, And so like when I have made music, particularly on guitar, if I'm with friends and I make music with them in Philadelphia, I play differently than I play in California. And I'm not trying to play differently. I'm just being kind of impacted by like
what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on. The people I'm hanging out with, the street I walked down that day, the hoagie I had for lunch, whatever it is that like makes Philly, it kind of comes through in the.
It's nice to notice that you can channel that.
Yeah,
and it's almost kind of that empathic kind of thing. You can just channel that and bring that, and you have your own interpretation with it, which goes into your music. So
yeah. And so you said you're a songwriter, I guess, sort of primarily. What is your primary instrument, I guess? Or do you write vocally and then instrumentize it, or?
I'm kind of weird like that. I write and I play piano. I'm not professionally with it, but sometimes a lot of my songs, they come through me when I'm like dreaming or just everyday life and stuff like that. And I hear things. I always keep things down in my phone, and I'm like, oh yeah, that actually would be a good song. And a lot of stuff that I've written is stuff from that and stuff from that I wrote. So yeah.
Cool. Well, should we?
Reason.
Maybe we shouldn't talk in the abstract. Maybe we should take a listen to what you've got here. What? Where would I find it here?
I have Silence Unmastered, and a lot of it's actually
I
it's
see
all
it here.
me.
Oh, so you've got Silence and then So Over as well. Do you want to sample both?
Those are completely brand new. I'm working on my first EP, so it's just brand new.
Cool. Okay, we'll check out Silence. I like the vibe.
Thank you. I'd like to bring in a little bit of
control you, drown you, I'll teach you. You're drifting into silence, deep inside of this song. Wait around, confuse you.
You've got a great voice.
Thank you so much.
I need to overwhelm you until there is nothing. Silence, wait around and listen as it takes over you. Take it all and never given in return. Silence in your soul and your skin. Who cares what the DJ
What I love, I'm gonna turn this down for a second. What I'm really enjoying about this is you've got this very disciplined, like you're kind of holding us all at arm's length, you know, where it's like you're building slowly. And as a listener, I'm sort of like, I want more, and then you just give us just a little bit, and there's almost like I'm gonna make a weird analogy here, but it almost feels like sort of this like. Dare I make this analogy? It's gonna sound weird if I say this. Okay, I'm gonna say it because I've started to. There's this almost like 50 Shades of Grey S&M quality of like, you know, begging and then getting little rewards, but not getting the full reward that you know. It's like sort of piecemeal. I like it. It's a kind of cool.
Yeah, I like that.
If that makes sense, yeah. I've set up a weird master-slave relationship to the song, but I don't mean it that way.
It's all good, man.
deep in your heart? Freedom's all you want.
So what are those? Can I ask? What are those little all the swell sounds that and all that little stuff like?
Well, I wanted it to have kind of like a ambient. That's why I'm seeing a lot of people saying ambient, but I wanted to have that kind of melodic, soulful in nature.
Yeah.
But also take from my own influences. I am also not only African American, but I'm Native American and Asian. So taking all those kind of like exotic kind of feels and with the sitars and a little bit of like or you hear like a rock gritty vibe into it, and just you know, the swells of just, you know, organs in the background. And I've also picked up on Exhale. Exhale's a really good VST from output, getting a lot of like that kind of like that kind of like vocal dark. So I picked up on that and added that to that song.
Oh, cool. That is cool. That is, and it's you're right. It's not, it would be unfair to call that ambient. I think that's almost too reductive for what's going on there. There's a lot more ambient. I tend to think of as like, I'm sorry to all the ambient people out there, but sort of music that you could kind of get lost in it, but you could also tune it out, and it's just kind of a presence that is just there. And this demands more of your attention. I think it's a more active listening process than ambient music is, for me at least. Should we check out So Over?
Yes, you can.
Okay, let's check a little bit out.
All the guys liking my voice. I appreciate it. Thank you. I worked so hard on it.
Oh, it really is quite good. Yeah. I got to ask you, because as a fellow singer, I hate the sound of my voice. Have you gotten to a place where you can enjoy your own voice?
Yes.
Good. Oh my God.
I'm still working on the confidence though.
Oh yeah. Well, you have every reason to be confident, but I'm glad to hear, because I'm still waiting for the moment when I can listen back to myself and not cringe.
Stage those kisses, make it easy for me not to care. Go ahead, I'm just doing me. You're talking shit about who I'm moving on with. Fucking with a bad bitch. Done it, had it over with. On the floor, grieving, pack it up, keep leaving, claim you. I don't want you. Don't you see that? Don't you see the game is over? You're over. I don't want you back anymore.
I liked that moment that happened a little while back where the bass and the super sauce synth are kind of going along, and then suddenly they fall in and double the vocal, and then they go back to doing their own thing. That's cool.
Yes.
What bass is that? That's a pretty dirty sounding bass. I like it.
Let me see. I actually have the file up on my mastered list. That is KD Sub. It's a low guitar bass that I found, and I like that.
Is it a reason patch, like a combinator patch?
Yes, it is a combinator patch.
Cool.
Yes.
And what's it called again?
It's called, because it had so much stuff to it, I'd write down. It is called KDI A Sub A Bass. It's,
KDI A Sub. Huh. Okay. There you go. Everybody, go make some music with that. That's a good sound. I always love songs when the production matches the lyric in a way where you can tell that like you were writing from a place of experience, and then you were playing from that same mental space, you know.
I'm still growing and still learning with this, but I'm definitely in my head how I wanted the song to go, and I hear people saying that it definitely it is a Prince vibe to it. I was inspired by the movie. I don't know if you remember that movie, The Last Dragon.
I remember it. I mean, I don't know if I ever even saw it, but I remember it. Yeah.
Produced by Barry Gordy movie. Look it up. Vanity star in that movie. So if you guys ever like any kind of like inspired 80s kind of films, like look that up. It's a very beautiful movie, and it kind of definitely inspired the song.
And did Prince do soundtrack stuff on that, or?
Well, no, like it was all Barry Gordy. He got like El DeBarge in it. They were all kind of up and coming, and a lot of different vibes. But I remember seeing that. I was younger. My middle name is Leroy, so the character's name was Bruce Leroy. He was like a martial arts, master trying to learn. But look at the movie. It's a really good movie.
Cool.
Growing up, and I wanted to capture that kind of fun vibe of like Electric Boogaloo back in the day, breaking. Fast is another good like you can tell I'm aging myself.
You and me both. But I can totally hear that. I wouldn't. It sounds modern. It doesn't sound. Sometimes when you are inspired by that stuff, you end up almost sounding a little too like you're just kind of retro emulating. But this doesn't do that. This feels modern. But the minute you say like El DeBarge, I go like, oh yeah, okay, I see what you're.
Those vibes, I'm already hearing someone talk about, you got that glow. I remember that song. But please watch The Last Dragon. It's one of my favorite movies. Cool. It's a really good one.
Cool. Well, Gerald, it's so good talking to you. I'm gonna jump on to one last person. There's somebody I saw in the call that I do want to get to before I sign off for the day here. But so good to talk to you. And am I correct? I've been seeing a Gerald in the chat comments. Is that the same? One and the same? Have you been in chatting?
Yeah, I am Gerald. That's me.
That
I am
is
Gerald.
You.
Yes.
I've been seeing you for weeks. It's so good. It's so nice to put a face.
I'm finally getting in touch with you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. Well, cool. Good talking to you. We'll do these again. So hopefully we'll see you on another one of these calls down the road. But sounds great. And hopefully if people want to connect with you, do you have an Instagram or something for?
I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It's I am Gerald Music. I am Gerald Music.
Couldn't be easier. Cool. Okay. Well, hopefully people can connect with you and stuff. So excellent. I'm going to jump over. Nice talking to you. Go ahead and mute your mic once we jump back to the main thing here. And now where is Urban Lumberjack? Michael Dugan. I'm going to unmute your mic here, Michael. And is it Dugan or Duggan? Dugan. Michael Dugan. This is a name I know. Now, for people watching that may not realize, we featured your remix on our stream with Olivia, right? It was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was the one I did for that song she did it was like a Reason remix contest like 6 years ago or something.
I'm sad to say I think it was 8 years ago. Which
8 years ago.
I think it was.
Maybe I posted it. Maybe I posted it on my SoundCloud. Like
that might be. Yeah, we did. It was one of the because what ended up happening. So I connected with Olivia via. We were doing a streaming thing back then. Now that was 9 years ago, and Olivia was one of the guests on that stream, and from that we then sort of struck up a friendship, but also a sort of a propeller head at the time sort of relationship that we were doing things with her, where she did a demo song that then went into the program. And then from that, we did that remix contest. And that was all happening kind of in that from up until about 2013 or something. Well, cool. Good to see you. I've been seeing you in the chat. You're another one of these guys. It's nice to put a face to the chat names and stuff that I've been seeing for weeks now.
Oh yeah,
months.
I think I've only missed a couple of these. I think I've seen at least probably 15, 16, or 17. So.
I was wondering myself. We've done 20 of them, and most of them have gone about at least. I mean, it's not uncommon that they go an hour and a half. Some of them go 2 hours like this one. And it made me sort of realize that like, that's like, God, there's some people, I mean, obviously me, cause I'm on them, but there's other people that have like gone through almost 35, 40 hours of streams with me.
Yeah. Well, it's been a way, I think, for me to keep my sanity, to connect with people who are doing the same thing that I am. I mean, that remix that was from a long time ago, that's when I was really heavy into using Reason. And I really stopped using it for actually the last 5 or 6 years. And I just got back into it in quarantine.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I mean, this is how things go in life. We come and go from instruments, In fact, actually, I'll tell a random, since we just mentioned Olivia Broadfield, I'll tell a random Olivia Broadfield story that relates to me and that same coming and going from music. So I was working with Propellerhead, and years before that, I'd been working with bands doing some documentary work and stuff. And so I was always working around music. But what I didn't actually realize was I'd kind of stopped playing music myself and making music, playing guitar and all those kind of things.
Yeah.
And I was in the UK, and Olivia had asked me to if I wanted to stop by and work on something with her, and she was thinking more as like engineering, like setting up some mics and recording something with her. And so I'm hanging out, and then while we're hanging out, she's playing a tune, and I picked up her guitar and I kind of was noodling a little bit, and she goes, "Oh, that's so funny. I always forget that you play guitar." And I was like, "What?" Like it hit me like a truck, because I was like, "How could anyone forget that I play guitar? I mean, that's who I am. I'm a guitar player." And then I realized, like, "Oh no, I'm not. I've stopped. I kind of don't play anymore." And it was on that trip I came back to the States, and like the guitar came out of the case, and it hasn't gone back in since, because it was like, I don't know. It's interesting how we do sometimes come and go from music, but it's great that let's not say the quarantine was great, but it's great to have you back.
Oh yeah, I'm very, 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 very happy to be back. Yeah.
That is cool. So what kind of music is it that you do, kind of primarily?
Well, I'm primarily a bass player, but and I was in just a bunch of bands around DC for about 10 or 15 years, and then those kind of fizzled out, and then I transitioned into doing stuff with Reason. That was back about 6 or 7 years ago. And,
cool.
But then what I really started doing that I realized I was doing remixes, and I do my own stuff, but I do like taking somebody's song and then just totally stripping it down and then creating something underneath. So it ends up being kind of more of a alternate version than it does like really a remix, because I basically will keep the vocal and then just build up everything else underneath it.
Right. There's actually a production methodology to that some people I know have done, where they literally will take a tune, like a vocal, and they'll kind of do that sort of alternate. They'll build up a different backing under it, and then they pull off the vocal, and then they have someone write another vocal on top. And it's sort of like, a lot of times creativity is about trying to like hack the brain into turning off self-critique or turning off whatever holds us back. And that can be a really great, when you're working with, when someone else has given you the top line, it's like it gives yourself permission to try different things than you would if you were starting from scratch, you know?
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, should we take a listen to
Yeah, there's two on there. There's one I literally just finished a couple days ago, so I think that's still a work in progress.
Okay.
It's a remix of actually a guy who lives down the hall from me, and he told me he had a song he had finished, and I wanted something to work on, so
cool.
he gave it to me, and that's the one that's called Sad Sweet.
Sad Sweet. Okay. Should we start with that?
Sure, yeah, it's the work in progress, and the other one's the more finished one.
Oh, okay. You know what? Then here's what I'm going to flip them, because I think with the other guys we've done finished and then we went work in progress. We'll go that same route. So this one is called Basement Party.
Yeah, well, it's actually called Run. It's a remix of this.
Oh, Run. Okay.
Called it's actually in the title. The band is called I can't remember what they're called. I think I just named it.
It says Run Basement Party Remix. I guess so. That's the name of your remix, though.
Yeah, it's called Run, but the name of this actual song is I forget who did it. Yeah, you go ahead and play it.
Okay, I'll go ahead and play it. Okay. I'm getting reminded of like Brass Monkey.
I'll take that.
I'm going to pause it for a second, just point out something for people. So when you said you were a bassist, we moved on, talked about other things, but I was thinking to myself, bassists approach production differently than you can almost tell from a production who came at it from a bass, very rhythmic. And then also the way you bring in that bass, not from the get-go, but you bring it in later. And then it's sort of like you've already kind of got this vibe going, and then that comes in and it just kind of shifts it into that, other gear.
Yeah.
It's cool.
This is our life, no more running away. This is our life, here I'll stay. This is our life, no more running away. This is our life, here I'll stay. This is our life.
What drums are those?
I got to look at the project.
Oh, okay.
This is our life, here I'll stay.
Nice.
So you get the gist, I think, now.
Yeah. Thank you for curating me. I like, but I do like that little thing where you pull it all out, and then when it comes back in, you go to this vibe, and then when it drops back in, where'd it go? Wait, oh no, where is it? Yeah. It's I love this is true to remixes often, is that you build up the elements of a remix and then you take them away, and then when you bring them back, you bring them all at once rather than via build up again. And there's something I love about that you've become so familiar with each of the parts that when they come back all at once, it's like, I don't know how to describe it, except that it almost feels like a perfect production choice on something that's called, Basement Party Remix has this sort of party vibe. And it really is just like a sonic party of oh yeah, I remember all those parts. Bonk, there they all are. Yeah. It's really cool. Really cool.
I really do like doing the live drum sound to me. I'll have to figure that out. I think it was I think it might be one of the indie rock combinator drums.
Oh, cool.
You guys had.
Oh, cool. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds nice. And there was another sound I was going to ask about. Was bass? Are you playing that? Is that live bass?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that all of it sounds really fun. Oh, I was going to ask about there's in the beginning there's a sound of, it sounds like people. just a crowd of people?
Oh yeah, that's actually from that remix that I did. Like the vocals I took from it, and then they had that loop, so I just used those two elements and everything else that I.
Cool. It sets up a nice. If I'm a listener and I see the title is called Basement Party Remix, and then the first thing I hear is this part. Like all those people, it's just like instantly like sets that. Yeah. That is cool. Okay, cool. So let's check out the work in progress, Sad Sweet Denny, and take a listen to what's going on here.
Does the wind know why it blows through the clouds in the sky? Does it know where and when it turns to the same place again? 'Cause I wanna know, is this just a sad song? Is this just a sad song?
Now, Michael, I got to ask you. I'm guessing, based on what I'm hearing in this, that the tonality of the original song Under Him was probably a little different. It sounds like you've really done almost a reharmonization of what's happening. It sounds like it's probably a really cool. If you were to listen to the two, I'm sure that you'd really get a sense of how much you've changed that.
Oh yeah, it's a very slow, simple singer-songwriter acoustic song.
Wow.
And then so all I kept was the vocals.
Wow.
Sad song. Does the leaf
I love that. There's so many examples out there of people doing that where they are taking somebody's song, like Mike Posner, I Took a Pill in Ibiza, right? Like that was a huge hit, but the version that became the hit that we know was effectively this kind of thing. It was when somebody it's called a remix, but it's like a remix with full verses and choruses and all that stuff. And it became this kind of electronic reshaping of what was effectively a singer-songwriter kind of tune, or I mean, even going back now a ways, Dido and Eminem, that classic sort of sample, but it's like taking an entire chorus and then just reimagining it into a different genre. There's liberties that you guys will take that the singer-songwriter wouldn't even think to take because they're so invested in their original vision, Yeah. That is cool. I'm just going to check. I don't know if I'm hearing another mic or let's see. It looks like everybody else is muted. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Well, cool. Michael, I'm going to play a little bit more of this. But this has been great. I'm going to play a little more here. Let's take a listen. There's like an 8-bit synth. That's a cool kind of.
Yeah, that's the Danger Chips, the Jort. What's it called?
Huh. It's a Reason sound?
Yeah, it's a Reason sound.
Like a stock sound?
Danger Chips Gorecraft.
Danger Chips Gorecraft. Okay.
Yeah, from the Complex One.
Oh, Complex One. Ah, I see. Cool. Yeah. It's a great sound. Nice. And there you go. And there's that same thing I'm talking about where it's like you pull it all away and then you bring it all back again and it's like the brain goes, hey, it's all my musical friends that I've been listening to. Yeah.
Well, I stole a term that you coined last time we talked. Is you called it the Dugan drop. So that's the
perfect.
You came up with it, but I'm stealing it.
Steal it. Take it. The Dugan drop. Yeah, because you did one of those in the Olivia remix, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Well, it's working for you. Keep doing those. The Dugan drop. Absolutely. That is cool. Well, it's been great talking to you. Great putting a face to the chat names. It's been so nice. I'm so glad that some of the people that I've been talking to today are people that I've been talking to with my fingers. Now we can talk in person. So that's great.
Great, man. Well, I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And thanks for sharing your music with all of us and stuff. And I believe, guys, it is 12:09 my time. I think this might be our point to say goodbye. I'm gonna do. I often. Oh, someone's in there. Someone's saying something. Whoever it was.
I said, "Dang it."
Who said dang it? Wait.
I did. Braulio. Can I screen share?
Actually. Sure. Yeah. Okay.
There
Okay.
I am.
There you are. Hey, Braulio.
Okay. Hey.
Well, you, by way of having your mic unmuted, you sneaked in the 11th hour.
Oh, I did.
How's it going, man?
Hey, it's wonderful.
I don't want to keep everyone waiting too much, but I will. Let's just have a quick chat. In fact, you know what we'll do? Did you send some music in?
I did. I don't know. Hold on, let me check something real quick.
We are
91% sent, 92%.
Oh, now okay. Well, then here, this is how it'll go. Then we have 90. We have 8% of upload time.
7%.
Okay, we'll chat for a little bit, and then you will be the outro music on the stream. How's that sound?
That's what's up.
Okay, that is what's up.
That is what's up.
Where are you coming? Where are you coming to us from?
All right, so I'm from here.
There. Oh, Chicago. There you go. That's
like,
a second Chicago representing.
Yes, there's not many of us. It seems. Everyone's always scared of Chicago.
It's a great town. One of the best in the States that I've been to. I say in the States like I'm from Europe or something, but
I would not. I don't know if I would even want to move from here.
No, it's great. Plus, I've got a colleague I work with who turned me on. I was going to Chicago, and he was like, "Oh, you got to go." What was the name of that place? They do some sort of sandwich called what is it? It's just like meat on a bun, which sounds like pretty basic, but it was a damn good sandwich. Shit, what was that called?
I'm not even sure. You're throwing me for a loop.
Maybe it's just called an Italian sandwich, or is that a thing? No.
Oh, an Italian beef.
Yes.
Yes, an Italian beef. Can you still see me, by the way?
I still see you. Yeah, I still see you.
Okay, just making sure. Yeah, that's an Italian beef. That's one of our signatures, along with deep dish pizza.
Yeah. I had never had one before, and he told me to go. There's some big chain that is like, normally the big chain's not the best place to get something like that, but he was like, no, you got to go. And I went, and it was really good.
Yeah, celebrities drop by there all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Celebrities
like this live streamer, you mean? No, I'm kidding.
Hey, I feel privileged to even be on something like this. I love Reason. The reason why I'm like, pun intended, I'm so late was because I was like trying to finish up this song, and I'm like,
oh, for real?
So yeah,
the song that you were exporting, it is now uploaded to me. You were
so the one
finishing
was already completed, but the other one I was just like, I was trying to get it right. I don't want it to sound amateur, so I had it sitting there, and it sounded like 80% complete. But then I was like, no, this is unacceptable. This is
Awesome. Well, okay, so we're gonna make you the outro music. In fact, so you've got two tracks. We'll take a listen to one, and then the other one will be our outro music. So you tell me which one we should listen to now, and which one should be our outro music.
I think the one called Millennium should be our first one.
Our first one, okay.
Super 80s inspired. I've been into the 80s lately. That's why I love Reason. It's the synthesizers. I think they're second to none, probably.
Cool. Well, I'm with you on that one for sure. Let's take a listen. Millennium Demo. I like what you're doing with alternating your snare drum between sort of like a fat snare and then that reverb snare.
Yeah, I thought it made it less boring.
Yeah. That's the goal of everything we all do all the time. Just please make it less boring.
Yeah. It's meant to be rapped over as well.
Okay, so this is sort of an instrumental that would then get a vocal on it. Cool.
Yeah.
So it's got a nice vibe. Oh wait, what's that?
The chorus coming up, that's like the lively part of
it. Oh, let me check it out. Okay. Yeah. Is this Layers Wave Edition stuff?
I did everything on Reason 5.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, it's a good vibe. I can totally, I get what you're saying with that, the 80s inspiration. That definitely has it. Are you familiar with the name Harold Faltermeyer?
Faltermeyer. You took the word right out. It was literally in my head. Exactly. Yeah, of course. I used to buy records, actually. I remember there's a record shop here in Chicago. It's called Gramophones.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought like a new wave pack. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of new wave, but I did happen to land on a Harold Faltermeyer besides the popular.
Right.
But yeah, of course, he's one of my inspirations.
He's got, I mean, a lot of that soundtrack stuff. Yeah, like, what was that? Fletch, he did the soundtrack for Fletch too. There's some like classic lines that came out of that movie as well. So he's,
I never got around to watching Fletch. I don't know why.
It's I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I don't know if I can recommend it. I remember at the time loving it, but like, you know, sometimes those movies don't hold up. But the soundtrack, the soundtrack is timeless. So definitely check out the soundtrack to some of that stuff, because there's some fantastic. It's in the same style as kind of the Beverly Hills Cop, that era where he was just on a roll with what he was doing.
Yes,
so.
yeah, undoubtedly.
Cool. So okay, well listen, we'll I'm gonna queue up your other one here, but I'm going to. I feel like a teacher that's going to be dismissing class. I mean, I guess everybody has the right to sign off whenever they want, but I at the same time, I fear that there's some people that are like wrap this up. You know, I don't want to miss something, but I don't want to, sign off.
Yeah, I won't keep you here too long. I hope you guys do this again, to be honest.
Yeah, these are super fun to do. We will do more of these, you know, and the thing that I always...
All these people here, they got outstanding music. I'm impressed.
Right? That's how I feel. I did one of these before, like our second or third stream. I just did a Zoom call like this, and I got like legitimately, like, I don't want to say I got emotional because that sounds weird, but I got like, I was like, yeah, exactly, it wasn't like that, but I was like, wow, like how cool that, like, I mean, it kind of blows my mind even today. Still, it blows my mind that like in a random sampling, like I'm picking guys based on just people going hi, and then I'm just like listening to the music, and everyone. To a T, everybody has been extremely talented, and I'm just always so impressed.
Yeah, Gerald killed it.
Right?
From Chicago.
You guys are Chicago. You guys got like hook up there.
Hey.
Totally. Yeah, no, you guys all have done such a good job. So I appreciate everyone who sent in stuff, and everybody who didn't and just hung out and was chatting in any of the chats, either Zoom or YouTube. It's been awesome. So I'm going to jump back over to the main. How do I do this? Oh boy, do I do this? No, I've forgotten how to use Zoom. I give up. Maybe I'll just do this. That's good enough. Okay. Well, listen, good talking with you, Braulio, and we'll see you again on another stream, I'm sure. And if you go ahead and actually wait, can I do that? Can I mute your mic? You just go ahead and mute your mic, and then I'm going to say goodbye to people, and we'll go out with your other track called Getting Over It, right? That's the one? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we'll go out with that one. But guys, okay, so we're gonna call it there. I could do this. I really could do this all day. It's so fun talking with everybody here, and whoever, you know, like Braulio and other people have said we should do this again. I completely agree. We should do this again. We will do this again, because every time I do it, I'm just left going. I want to elevate your music. I want to get it out to people. I want to make connections. I want us to share in the inspiration. I hope that you've been inspired by this. I hope that you sign off from this stream and start making music. And maybe with some of the patches we've talked about, maybe just something else. But absolutely, let's all kind of use this as a you know, it's the hallway that we talked about, walking down the hallway and hearing what other people are doing and getting inspiration from it. That's what these Zoom streams can be. It's the town square where we can all see what we're doing and getting inspired from it. So go out and make some music. Next week, we are going to be talking with Matthias and Ludwig from Stockholm. They're going to be coming to us and talking about friction. And they know it in depth. And Ludwig can even play piano, unlike me. So we're going to have two perfect experts to to really kind of geek out on Friction because it's cool. But we wanted to do it. The thinking was we would do it the week after it comes out because that'll give all you guys time to play with it yourself and trial it, you know, and or if you get it, you'll just have a little time with it to get familiar with it yourself. If you haven't checked out, I made a tutorial video on Friction that came out today as well. So if you look on our YouTube channel and you want to kind of see it kind of in a getting started kind of way, go there. And otherwise, I'll see you guys next week, and let's keep doing this, right? Shall we? I'm gonna keep doing this. I hope you keep doing this. We'll see you next week.